Hey guys, can you hear me now? Best commercial ever, right? Can you hear me now? I'm back for the crazy ass music. All right, we're going back to some other music. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm breaking the vibe. All right, so recording's totally borked now. Loadout, thanks for the sub, man. Means a shitload. Much appreciated, dude. Okay, so let's look at this portfolio from the get-go. I won't go into as much detail as I was before, because I think you're getting the idea. But the roughness variation and shape variation to break up organics that are looking more rigid. For example, when I was talking about these feeling like this is hard-edged, even though they are beveled or rounded, like go even like softer if you can. If that's supposed to be hard shelled, then sure. Like this one, for example. This one, for example, looks like it's supposed to be hard shelled. Where it is getting a little weird is the where are we at here? The overhang on this side feels like it's more than the rest, and from under you can definitely see that it's much more. And then this strap here. Wow, let's shrink that down. So there's no change in height of this surface here. Whoa. Let's try that again. Yeah. Holy sub madness. Hey guys. Hey, thanks for the sub. Means a lot, man. Man or woman, dude or dudette. Welcome to the empire. So I think this edge here, if you were to like give a little bit of bend and give on this top piece, and then a little bit of a wrinkle here to kind of imply that that's lifted under it, making arrow straight like bam, 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 like only 3 lines, guys. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. And then this one, it seems like it's missing that detail normal to break up the surface, because all of this is really hard edged. A subtle bevel, if I do say so myself, on the underside here. Oh man, good stuff. Oh man, again, thanks for the sub. That's so crazy. Never thought I would be doing what I'm doing now. I freaking love doing this. It means a lot to me that you guys are giving back in some form. Yeah, the pattern is tiling pretty heavily. Go back to it really quick. That's an interesting spot there. That does not look like it's actually on the rest of the asset. That's really weird. But like, yeah, it's definitely tiling a lot. Like you can see the spots here. I think tiling it maybe about half of what it is now, and then getting a detail normal to tile all over it. When you do a detail normal as well, be careful about oh, this is, dude, I thought that was totally like baked in. That's great. That's great that that's modeled out. Totally mask out these spots where the where metal is or where these are, so that you don't get the detail normal on that stuff. The other thing you could do is take this and kind of give it a little bit of shape. And maybe like 1 or 2 edge loops around the entire top cap. That will really help sell the kind of like organicness of it. Separate shots of the wireframe. That's a good point. That's a good point. When you go, let me look here. So you probably don't need this shot because that's the same shot as this one, just flipped basically. You probably don't need to show the back unless there's details that you want to show, like how is this lid connected, for example? Is it like actually, is there like leather strap pieces in the back here that are kind of sewed together on it? If that's the case, then there should be like a little pattern pieces here, like sewn patterns. Maybe a loop here, like that. Can I draw it? I don't know. It's just something selling how it's put together. And then you said double wireframes. I mean, showing the flat without the wire is fine if you have wireframe on this. So the flat, you just can show like your texture, because then you're just showing like how it's unwrapped. Let's see what else we got here. So this one actually has my attention. So that one's, the top piece is about the right poly count. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's rounding just enough. As you go down, like the detail in here, like you can probably get rid of half of the loops in here, and then around the bottom, make sure that you add them back again. Because, you know, like up here, like along the entire like handle of this, you wouldn't actually get a glancing angle where you can see the silhouette of the geometry. You know what I mean? So you could probably half this, and then you keep these where they're at. Oh yeah, and don't be afraid if a piece is old. Like this is pretty cool. It just needs some interaction with the damage or aging, where you can see how everything is connected. What I was gonna say is, as you go back in someone's portfolio, stuff will get older and older usually, unless they start to mix it up, which I suggest you don't do that. Don't mix up stuff that gets dangerous, because then they have a hard time viewing if your portfolio is what do you call it? They have a hard time viewing your progression as an artist, if that makes sense. This piano is really nice. What I would say though is taking assets that you feel are old or that are detracting from your portfolio and then putting them on a blog, or just removing them altogether. Like if you don't want to get rid of your stuff, just put it on a blog. That's kind of like an archive, right? This asset's also kind of suffering from the material separation and then the aging to help highlight the pieces themselves being separate from each other. Everything's very perfect, which is usually where you start running into problems where it starts looking like 3D or geometry. But yeah, I think adding a human element to it where it's kind of dinged up a bit more, and an aging or dirtyifying layer, whether it's very subtle dirtiness or like pretty heavy and caked on, I think that will help you a lot. Right now, I'm seeing two substances in here. Oh, that's a good song. Is this is a substance, yeah? Substance designer. Cool. So yeah, I guess seeing these two substances in here, right now they're not showing your full potential in substance. The moss in between the stones is really interesting, but other than that, it's not a very complex material, right? It doesn't have like the variation in the stone angling and chipped corners that break up the variety of it. The cracks are good throughout here, just because they're pretty subtle and random. But it's lacking the depth, which I think has a lot to do with the moss being of a similar height to the stones in the height map. But if I had to, I'd remove your substances and what you feel like is older. Like your grenades are actually still, your grenades is still pretty good. These three here feel old, and then these ones feel like you're still learning substance, and they're only detracting for your portfolio. This stuff is really strong, and just needs to be beat up a little bit into material variation, like other types of materials. And I don't recall if you said you wanted to be an environment artist or not, but right now what I'm seeing is more of a props artist, and it's still lacking the character in each prop, mainly because of the dirtiness and aging or interaction between the pieces, like I was talking about earlier. So I don't think you're ready for a portfolio, a prop artist position. And I don't think that you're ready for an environment artist position because I'm not seeing any environments yet. This tank is pretty good. Let me see if I can. This tank's really nice, actually. I need to look at it closer. Load in. Tank Jeepama Bob. Some variation in your roughness will probably help you on this. And so see, I doubt these are attached, right? Physically, they're supposed to be just placed on top of it. You're aiming for a props vehicle artist. Dutch tank. Again, that dirty grunge pass where everything's interacting with each other. And then these guys slanted or tilted a little bit to break that stuff up. If you look up from the top, like these are really straight, right? Maybe if like one of them was tilted a little bit. Maybe if the cannon was not facing straight and facing like this. Oh, this is a nice render. And this is really cool to see. Whoa, you got all types of crazy like bent normals in here. How is that? I'm like, where is that? How did you bake this? That's... I guess that's here. Yeah, it's like down here and stuff. Interesting. Ooh, be careful with this type of bending. It's the turret. It's the turret. In general, though, it looks pretty nice. Roughness breakup. I would like to see your roughness map just because it's, in my opinion, roughness is the most important map in current materials. And then, yeah, just getting a roughness breakup and that dirty pass. That dirty pass. Most of the dirty pass will occur in the roughness as well, just as a heads up. So if you want to be a vehicle props artist, it's time to kick it up a notch and add more vehicles. But yeah, nice. It's a nice solid first portfolio, I think. And it's just, I can tell like as you're progressing, you are getting better. Just keep in mind how your materials look in lighting and how the light goes across the surface. A fishing ship? Dude. Jordan, what's up, man? Jordan 3D. How you doing? Yeah, I was doing this portfolio review because I missed it last week. Somehow someone else's portfolio was on top of the username for Yuan. Is it Yuan? Mr. Dominik. Anyways, pretty cool, man. Keep it up. Post your other stuff you're working on in the art related. I'm sure you are. But yeah, it's dope. That's dope. Henrik, it's all good, man. It's all good. How are you guys doing this evening? I'm gonna switch it over and be right back.